The MAFEX Mandalorian's appearance is spot on from the character's depiction in the main series, with its proportions being almost perfect, since the helmet may be a bit too big, but that's just me. In addition to this, it is a shame that the figure doesn't come with an alternate shoulder piece with the mudhorn symbol. Good luck modding that since the shoulder joint is on a hinge joint. My copy has some QC issues like this small bit of damage onto the torso that can only be seen if you pull off the upper half of the figure. A small dent in the back of the helmet which I guess could pass as battle damage. And there's also a slight bit damage on the side of the helmet. And a couple of dents on the back of the shoulder armor. Next is his totally not son, Grogu, which is very well sculpted and painted, though lacks any articulation. The figure's overall articulation, while slightly hindered by its armor, is fairly serviceable, especially around the upper torso area. The arms can go out pretty far. The figure's bicep and gauntlet can also rotate. The arms can go around 360 degrees. The elbows are double jointed and can bend at around 180 degrees. The legs are each on an independent drop-down joint, allowing them to kick forward at around 90 degrees. The knees are double jointed, but due to the way the figure is sculpted, it's largely limited to a 90-degree bend. The leg's outward movement isn't at all hindered due to the soft material of the figure's waist armor. On my copy, there appears to be a lower thigh swivel on the left leg, but on the right, it feels like there's almost no movement. Now, onto the figure's accessories, which are kind of a lot, but is honestly the figure's weakest point. First is the flamethrower effect part, which attaches to a stand using a hole peg connection. Doing this, you can create shots like this. Honestly, I just wish they went for the figure arts approach, but this is fine too. Next is the figure's pink pistol. I have no idea how they managed to fuck this one up, considering the fact that this thing in the show is purely silver or black most of the time. I guess they were going for an iridescent paint scheme? That doesn't make any sense. In contrast to the pistol, the Amban sniper rifle is cleanly painted. However, when mine came out of the box, the scope broke off from the rifle. I managed to repair it using some super glue, but yeah, the marks are still there. The rifle also has a port for an alternate strap piece or for the alternate bandolier piece. Next is the figure's alternate gauntlet piece, which has an activated grappling hook, which attaches onto the figure like so. Disappointingly though, the wire piece itself isn't wired, so you're largely limited to one pose. Speaking of being limited to one pose, my god, this thing is the absolute worst part of the figure. Okay, just let me calm down a second. In concept, this alternate bandolier works. There's a tiny hole in the rifle which is the port of this peg on the bandolier. Next, you attach the other end of the rifle onto this clip. And as you can see, this works if it isn't attached to the figure. But the moment you introduce this shit into the figure, everything falls apart. The peg can barely hold onto the rifle, so when you try to adjust it in order to put the other end on the clip, it disconnects. The stupid clip can barely hold onto the rifle, so when you pose the figure, it falls apart. Who designed this? Whose great idea was it to do this? And this feature isn't even accurate. The rifle is supposed to hang over the cape, not under it. I would have been fine with it going under the cape, but the feature doesn't even work that well. The sad thing is that many people say that this is better than what Figure Arts did, but that doesn't excuse this thing from being a piece of shit. Honestly, if you plan to use this accessory, just make sure that it's only for display. And let's face it, you can only really do one pose with this thing, which is this. Yeah, real riveting. Let's get on to the hands before I pop a blood vessel. The figure comes packed in with closed fist, relaxed hands, pistol holding hands, rifle holding hands and rifle support hands, widespread expressive hands, now onto some size comparisons. Here he is next to some other figures in the MAFEX line. Here he is next to some SH Figure Arts.
Told you not to do that.
Overall, the figure itself is really good, but it's far from the complete Mandalorian package considering that this was delayed for so long. Despite its many accessories, it lacks key ones such as the alternate shoulder piece with the Mudhorn sigil and the Mandalorian's jetpack, which were all seen at the end of Season 1. The cape isn't completely wired, which boggles the mind. Like, why leave a job half-finished? And I know that they were going for the tattered look, but MAFEX typically goes for a fully wired cape. Like, why is this the exception? And I think that best sums up this figure all in all. It feels half-baked. It's close, but something's still missing. Should you buy this figure? If you really like how it looks, go for it. But if you're looking for the complete package, this isn't it, chief. Personal suggestion, try to save up for the SH Figure Arts one, or better yet, just get the new Black Series one, which I heard is really good. The last option is to simply wait for a MAFEX 2.0 or a fixed re-release, which considering the state that the figure is in, really demands for it. The figure gets a 7 for pretty even. And what did you guys think of this figure? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.